this week's video, we're going to go over 3 reasons why most people fail with dropshipping and how you can be part of the small percentage of people that see success with it. What is up everybody, Rain Result here, back again with another video. In this week's video, I'm going to share 3 of the main reasons why I see people failing with dropshipping. I come from a sporting background, and one thing that's always helped me is to learn from others' mistakes. I feel like if you're able to see what's causing you to fail with something, all you have to do is reverse engineer that to start seeing the opposites. One thing that I want to make super clear is that failure in and of itself is not a bad thing. In fact, failing is probably one of the greatest teachers that we do have. We have all learned to walk, run, and even ride a bike by falling down. No one looks at a baby who's trying to walk for the first time and calls them a failure if they have stumbled or lost their balance. It is simply a part of the process. Failure is just a result of doing certain things a specific way, and if you did things differently, you could see success with it. But with that being said, let's dive into these 3 main reasons and see how you can turn them around and use them to your advantage. First and foremost, and number 1 on this list, would definitely be a lack of understanding. This is pretty self-explanatory, but when it comes to dropshipping, there's definitely a few important things that you really want to have a good understanding of. A lot of people start selling products online without really understanding what goes into it. For example, it's important to have an understanding of what products sell, what makes people buy a product, how to market a product successfully, and just the dropshipping business model in general. Just how a doctor or a lawyer need to study to understand how things work in their sector, so it is the same with somebody who wants to start dropshipping. The solution to this problem is very simple. Get more knowledge. There are so many different ways you can go about doing this. Most popular would definitely be through YouTube, paid courses, paid mentors, and just networking with like-minded individuals. Before I move on to point number 2, just on a side note here, I'd also like to say that I see a lot of people getting stuck at this point. You also don't want to get to the point where all you're doing is consuming and learning and gaining knowledge, but not taking any action. Anytime you are learning or gaining knowledge, I would advise to go and apply it as soon as you can. That way you get into the habit of learning something and applying it, learning it and applying it. Number 2 on this list of reasons why I see most people fail with dropshipping is because they give up way too early. And I put in brackets here, persistence. I just googled how long it takes to build a profitable business, and Google said on average it takes around 2 to 3 years. It's funny because sometimes I'll get a message from somebody on Instagram saying to me they advertised one product, it did not work, they didn't get any sales, therefore they're stopping with their dropshipping journey. I do definitely think that sometimes dropshipping is displayed as some sort of get rich quick scheme, which we know it isn't, and at the same time you can make a lot of money in a very short period of time. But just understand that for most people, it is going to take some time to build up. And for a lot of you, the very first product you test will most likely not be a winning product. Like with any business, it does take some time to build up. Most people study for years on end before starting to work and earn an income. The amazing thing about dropshipping is you can start advertising a product today and already start becoming profitable. So understand that things can happen very quickly, but at the same time it's important to have a long-term goal in mind. Stay persistent, stay consistent, and ultimately not give up. Persistence is key here, and any successful person will tell you that success and persistence are inseparable. Third and final reason why I see most people failing with dropshipping would be that they have unrealistic expectations. They're simply not setting the right goals for themselves. This kind of ties into our second point, but it's really important to become aware of, because if it is your first time dropshipping and you have only spent $100 on advertising, or you only have $100 to spend on advertising, it would be unrealistic to expect to make $1 million in your first year with this business model. It's important to take your level of experience, the budget that you have to work with, the time that you can invest, and set realistic goals based on those factors. Otherwise, if you set unrealistic goals and you don't start hitting those targets, you're definitely going to be getting discouraged and disheartened, and that's where a lot of people fall off. My advice would definitely be to set realistic goals that are achievable and that you believe are possible, and go for it. Set goals that are challenging and that will challenge you, but at the same time be realistic with where you're at. Dropshipping is a business and there is so much potential here, but at the same time it needs to be matched with the same intensity and energy from your side. Giving 50% effort is not going to be yielding the results that you want it to. I remember watching a video that was similar to this a few years ago that wasn't directly related to dropshipping, but I remember clearly how much it changed my perspective on things. And even those small perspective changes can have lasting effects and can really give you different results. But with that being said, I hope you guys found this video helpful. And like always, I'd like to leave you with 2 quotes this week. I was looking through different quotes and these 2 really stood out to me. I generally just leave you guys with 1 quote. I was torn between these 2, but I thought, you know what, let me add both of them into this week's video. The first quote is by Thomas Edison, and he said, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." And the second quote I saw that I really liked was, "Only a fool learns from his mistakes. The wise man learns from the mistakes of others." I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have an amazing upcoming week. I'll definitely see you in the next video. Peace.